For our first spiritual practice together, we are going to make nature mandalas. So a mandala is kind of a fancy circle. It's a circle that is full of symmetry and pattern and very consistent shapes and designs. So humans throughout history have been fascinated with circles. Circles are everywhere in nature, like in flowers. This flower is a very, very symmetrical flower circle. It can be described as a mandala if we want to use that language. There's lots of pattern in the petals and it's an even design. Forests, other plants, the planets, galaxies, they all have circles. So since circles are everywhere and humans really like things that are even and symmetrical, people have long associated circles with the divine, with God, with infinity, because they just keep going round and round and round. Circles are a good way to describe balance or harmony or evenness or perfection. So circle art shows up everywhere in culture and in many different cultures and in many various forms of art, and many people use circles to pray. So the circles of mandalas are specifically soothing to our minds, and so this is why it's used as a prayer practice or a spiritual practice. So they help us focus, the circles help us focus peacefully, and hopefully this focusing peacefully will help you let go of intrusive thoughts or unhelpful thoughts or stress or repetitive thoughts or things you just need to clear your mind of for a little while. So this is why they're used in meditation a lot, because this helps people kind of clear their head. Also with nature mandalas, the colors of mandalas specifically really help soothe your emotions or soothe your brain or give your brain a little bit of a rest or inspire thoughts of gratitude for nature, for shapes, for colors, for peace, for gratitude, whatever kind of these thoughts develop in your head as you're kind of studying mandalas. So there are many ways that you can practice this. However, I'm going to encourage you to do it with nature. So I want you to get outside and I want you to find lots of different elements of nature, either on a walk, in your backyard, maybe you have some in your house, that will help you create some sort of even pattern in a circle shape. So one thing with this though, I want you to be good stewards of our earth, and I don't want you to pick anything that is new growth, or maybe that maybe struggle to grow, or maybe things that we really need to grow. I encourage you to pick things like weeds, or pick up dead elements that are already on the ground, or find things that are non-intrusive to our nature. So think about this as you're collecting your items. Once you've collected your items, you're gonna make your pattern on some sort of circle. So you can either just do a circle in the ground. I cut out a piece of cardboard just to kind of help me give you an example of a mandala. And yeah, so whatever works for you works for me as well. So these are the elements that I found for my mandala. So I have dandelions and creeping Charlie leaves and little tiny baby pine cones that I found on the ground, some dead pine needles, other little purple weed flowers that are in my yard that are actually everywhere. And I put them all together into a circle shape. So you can see here, circle of dandelions, circle of creeping Charlie, circle of the purple flowers and pine cones, and then this middle piece is also a circle. Once you are done creating your mandala, I want you to sit with it for a couple of minutes. I want you to look at it, and I want you to concentrate on it, and I want you to think about a couple things. So, silence your thoughts, silence your brain for a little while, and focus on the circles of your mandala. Think about God. Where does God show up in this? Maybe what is God trying to say to you through this? Maybe think about how God works through these elements of nature that you picked out or through these circles. Think about what you are grateful for in nature with colors and shapes. Maybe think about what you're thankful for with peace or art or creation. And then take a couple big deep breaths in and out. Kind of taking in all that beauty and letting go of thoughts that maybe you just need to let go of for a little while. And then I want you to share with your family your mandala. So share what you've created and share why you chose the elements that you did, what type of patterns do you see, why did you create those patterns, what did you think about God during this exercise, maybe what was God talking to you about, what were you hearing from God, what were you hearing from nature, what are you seeing from these patterns, anything that kind of pops into your head. And then lastly, share how you feel doing this practice. What kind of emotions were sparked in you? To end though, I want to make sure that you let yourself feel whatever you feel during this entire exercise. So you need to give yourself permission to feel all your feelings, or maybe to feel nothing at all. And this particular spiritual practice may not spark anything in you, and that's okay. But it may spark something in someone else in your family. So allow them to have that space to kind of explore their emotions and their feelings and their thoughts. So spiritual practices create space for things to show up in our life, like ourselves, our creativity, our emotions, peace, God, love, maybe wisdom. And sometimes a lot of those things will surface during these activities, and sometimes very little will surface. And that's totally okay. Both of those experiences are still legit, they're still good, and they're still considered spiritual practices. So don't forget to share with me what you created, because I want to see your beautiful nature mandalas. And I hope that you all have a great week. We will see you soon.